Hey, welcome to Now or Never.
Yo!
Friday show.
Yeah!
Steve Covino, Rich Davis, Kathy Kelly's here, and there he is, LA WildCats, Josh Johnson.
Yo, man. Thank you for being here. Congrats on everything. Before we get into this, I want everyone to see those kicks, bro. I thought mine were dope. You totally showed me up tonight. I mean, look at that.
We're twinning.
Those are the colors, man.
Little twinning.
Well, thanks again. I appreciate you. Let's talk about the current state of your team, the Wildcats. You guys are 1-3, taking on the Vipers this weekend. What's going on, man?
I mean, for us, started off kind of rough. We had a lot of injuries. I missed pretty much all of training camp.
Yeah.
Missed the first game. Lost the first game by a close one. Then came back the second game, played pretty good. Went out to New York, had another disappointing loss. So I think it's just for us, you know, we're still gelling as a team. But I think when we're headed in the right direction.
Must win this early on? Because there's only 8 games, so are you feeling that pressure right now?
I mean, for me, it's always a must win.
Right.
Limited opportunities. One thing about football, you got to kind of capitalize on it right now. So that's kind of what we've been focused on, is trying to win one game at a time.
Let's talk about the state of the XFL. I would imagine everyone's happy with the turnout. Fans are loving it. Ratings are up. People seem to be loving the product.
I mean, yeah, I just went home and I had like all my normal local people who watch football, they telling me they locked in. And me as a football fan, I watch the games even on my own, and I enjoy it a lot. Just seeing the guys get these opportunities that really wouldn't have had them. And I think it's been really exciting, especially with all the access. The fans get to see a different side of the game.
Now, you're a guy that has had a long journey to where you came to 13 teams?
I stopped counting.
13 teams.
counting.
Now, let me ask you this. Let's talk craziest fans and maybe laziest fans in what cities?
Craziest fans, Raider fans.
Yeah.
Raider fans.
That's your family growing up, right?
Yeah,
so
they
your
crazy.
family, you've come from a crazy family.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. If you know one thing about Oakland, don't wear another team jersey in there.
Right.
Even the kids.
Right.
Kids, too. Laziest fans, that's interesting. I think whoever's losing. I'm not even going to throw myself under the bus like that. I gave you a political one. I mean, who's ever losing?
What about low-key market that you had a lot of fun in? Like smaller city that you just really...
Tampa.
Tampa?
Love Tampa.
Good
stadium too.
I love Tampa.
Good
Tampa
scene
City.
down there, right? A lot of fun.
No hurricanes either, just thunderstorms.
And you're going to love beating them this weekend, right?
Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I get to play the old city.
Now, the XFL, did they block you from going back to the NFL? And is there bad blood there, or do you understand because now you're part of it?
Yes, they blocked me, but it was something that I understood that they had the power to do based on my situation, how they negotiated my contract. So when the situation came up with the opportunity to go to Detroit, I was just trying to work my way to try to squeeze something out of it. But when they told me no, I had to respect it because I knew what I signed up for.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like football isn't your only focus. You also created the Family First Family Foundation with your cousin, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Have you seen just like the joy on kids' faces? Because it's really helping underprivileged kids meet their potential.
Most definitely. I mean, it was like something that we realized that we had as kids that's kind of lost, just the community aspect of people being there for each other, holding each other accountable. And then when Marshawn started the football camp, we saw the impact it had on our community because we really didn't look at ourselves as mentors. We just was like, we Oakland kids that made it out. That's really how we thought about it. But we had to respect the game when the kids started actually like knowing us, remembering and having these cherishable moments. And then when our little cousin Marcus made it to the league, like Peters, it kind of fell full circle. Like, it's going to be a lot more kids like this. And now Marcus is like a big part of the foundation as well. And so we all just kind of collectively put our ideas together, what we like to see different from the communities that we serve. And it's been beautiful, man. It's been like one of our biggest blessings have been doing the foundation. It's a humbling experience, but it's also an experience that we feel like was necessary because now kids know, like, we know different than y'all. But when you focused up and got your mindset on the right things, you can change your life around.
Definitely.
Two takeaways I took out of that were, A, you're doing a lot of great things for kids in the community, and Jesus, the athleticism in your family.
Right.
My goodness. I mean, is ever family reunions must be like real
lit.
deal.
They be lit, man. Very competitive though.
Right.
Very, very competitive. Like, we all talk smack to each other. We got like another close fan relative. He plays for the XFL team. His name is Jamar. He actually picked me off last week. So like the whole competition element, when we work out, we always talk smack to each other. We push each other. And I mean, you can see that. I mean, it's pushed us to this point.
Wow,
like,
yeah.
I think it had, what we did growing up has got us all to where we at now, and I wouldn't change that for the world.
No, that's amazing, man.
By the way,
Congrats on
you
everything.
look pretty slick in that uniform. You like the colors? You feeling good in this
Our
one?
jersey's fire, man.
It is. It really is.
Look good.
We love it.
I want to talk about the football. As a guy that throws the football, a lot of guys are just blocking and doing it. You're a guy, you got to handle this bad boy.
Right.
Compare this to the NFL football.
No PSI rules.
Ah.
So, but from a grip standpoint, the first day I grabbed it out the bag, I noticed that I didn't have to buff it. I didn't need to mud it. I didn't need to do all these things that you have to do with the Duke. And it just came out, you could spin it.
So no Deflategate here. It doesn't apply, right? Maybe Brady to the XFL? Is that the rumor?
The rumor Brady to everywhere right now. So.
By the way, what do you think about that? Because you do follow, obviously, all football. Where do you think TB12 ends up?
I don't know, man. If anything, New England, but my long shot is the Raiders, man.
Wow.
It's the Raiders. I just feel like John Gruden, man, he likes splashes.
Yeah.
So I would not be shocked if he opened that Vegas stadium with TB12 in there. But if not, I know DC gonna do his thing too. No knock on DC. I just know Gruden, he likes the big play.
Let's get back to your cousin real quick, Marshawn Lynch. He was supposed to speak at Princeton recently. Did you hear about this? Did you guys talk about this? Text each other, and they sort of snubbed it. Did you hear about that?
I've heard about it. He told me he was talking there, but then I heard got wind that some kids or something didn't want him to come.
They want to be involved in the process, and it got some backlash, so I don't think it's happening now. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
To me, it sounded like a moment where it might be some clout chasing going on, where kids just trying to create a stir for nothing because, most people enjoy hearing Marshawn speak.
Yeah, because we just talked about all the good stuff you guys are doing.
Model, yeah.
A role model, Super Bowl champion. You know, he has a lot to say, and these guys were, in my opinion, a little snooty about the whole thing.
Yeah, that don't make sense to me. So I don't know. I hope he does do it because you're not going to make everybody happy.
Right.
That's one thing I do know. But I'm pretty sure a lot of those student body will enjoy him. I know we got one of the quarterbacks, Kevin Davidson, he goes there. He's about to go into the draft. I know he was excited about it because he was the first one who actually told me about it. But he didn't tell me about the other part, so I don't know.
All right.
Does your favorite advice from your cousin have to do with chickens?
Oh, yeah, you got to take care of the chicken, man.
Take care of the chicken?
Got to take care
And your
of that.
mentals.
You for sure better take care of them mentals.
I got to go to one of these family parties.
Oh, yeah. No, you're going to love it.
Now, listen, we want to go over a little something called Should the NFL Change It Now or Change It Never based on some of the cool things that have happened in the XFL. So being that you're a guy that's played in both leagues and been all over the place, let's start with 1 foot inbounds for possessions. Something the NFL should take a look and say, well, the XFL is doing this, or do you like the way the leagues are different?
Now that I'm a quarterback in the XFL, you get more completions with 1 foot and down. So I'm gonna be a little stingy and say 1 foot. But from the finesse standpoint, as a fan, it is dope when you see a guy have to make that 2-hand toe tap. But as a quarterback, I want 1 foot.
Your completion percentage.
Completion goes up like this, man. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
How about the extra points? You got 1, 2, and 3 points now. You guys are the first team in the XFL to get the 3-point conversion, right?
I think that's dope.
Okay,
I really think that's dope. It kind of makes it real creative. The game is never over. I remember when we was down that game in Dallas, we were down 2 scores, and I was thinking old NFL.
Right.
And we got 9 points, and I looked up. I'm like, oh man, that's tight.
Right.
We right back in the game off a field goal. So I think that element will always keep fans engaged. Because in the fourth quarter, you can't check out now. Team can score 9 points like that. Down 18, that's a 2-score game. So I think that part is really dope.
Now, when you score a touchdown in the XFL, is it sort of like known ahead of time, like, yeah, we're going to go 1, 2, or 3, or are people calling plays like that moment, like, yo, let's do 2, let's do 3? Like, is it sort of like spur of the moment?
Yeah, right now it's been spur of the moment, situationally based. And for me, I can't even celebrate no more because of the fact that I'm so used to celebrating and running off to get to PFT, but I got to refocus now because I got to hear the play call. So like the first game I was running down trying to celebrate and I actually missed the play call and Nelson reminded me of the play.
What about, speaking of which, the 25-second play clock?
I think
Is that an adjustment for you?
It was an adjustment for me because I'm so used to the NFL. You kind of can have it like we used to big on as much time at the line of scrimmage as possible. But here, it just puts more pressure on the defense though, because they gotta get lined up faster. It kind of regulates the game a little bit, and you get more plays done. So I think that part, as I've gotten through it now, I'm used to it, and I'm actually enjoying it.
Now we're here having fun talking, but how do you feel about the in-game interviews?
The in-game interviews for me is fine.
Yeah? What do you mean, why for you?
Because I'm a vet, man.
What does that mean? You
gotta
hide
know-
from the reporters?
You gotta know when to get away.
You think some of your
He's walking on the field.
younger teammates yap a little too much?
Oh, yeah, they like their TV, they like the lights, so they get it at all times. You gotta take the good with the bad. And I just looked at some of them, because I always watch the live copies, and I've seen some of the interviews that I didn't know was going on the sideline because I was getting away. And I'm like, man, what was you doing right there, bro?
But it adds a whole different element.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, we haven't seen much of the multiple forward passes as long as you don't go past the line of scrimmage. Is that trickier to execute than we think?
No, I just think people gotta be more innovative with it. It's just so common to not do it. But it was crazy. I was watching the Seattle game with Dallas last week. It wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago. Landry Jones had a ball tipped that he threw, caught it, and threw another pass. I thought that was dope.
That is dope.
I thought that was dope.
Well, best of luck this weekend. And guys, follow him on social media. Headache, right? Head 8 CKE, is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
At Headache. Thank you so much for being here.